I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So been torn, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 Chief Rock Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Nighttime show. I got my homeboy Coach backstage, ready to jump up here and chop it up. Man, I'm so glad to be here with you guys rocking. Thank you for coming through on a Friday night, hanging out with your boys. Man, we're gonna talk that talk the way that y'all like to have that talk to y'all. Just wrapped up on the other side with Rel and King Kai and Damon. Rel and King Kai of We Talk Mavs and Damon of We Talk Hawks TV. IKBM Dre was over there rocking the spot also. We had a really good time. Before I start talking that talk the way that y'all like to have it talk to y'all, I'm gonna bring in my guy Coach. Coach, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's good, everybody?
What's good, man?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We kind of had an intense conversation a few minutes ago. A little bit.
I don't know.
A little bit.
There's some delusional fans out there, I'll tell you that.
There are delusional fans out there. I'm one of them.
Especially when someone feels the heat. One of the moderators over there gave me a timeout for just saying.
Man, yeah. Moderators be on that button, bro. Moderating is not for a difference of opinion. Moderation is for people to follow the YouTube guidelines. That's what being a moderator is for. You get the wrench so that you can help the channel abide by YouTube guidelines, not because people, you get sensitive that somebody has a different opinion.
Someone on there trying to talk about naughty stuff about kids or racist shit, or, stuff that's illegal, cut them off.
Yeah.
Someone difference in opinion. Come on.
Yeah.
I was just trying to say, I mean, when was the last time Kyrie was all NBA?
Yeah.
He left out that part of my comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, King. You can talk to us. I'll talk to you in person.
King Kai, that's our guy. King Kai, that's
I like them. No, I like them dudes. I had no. He believes in his team. That's good.
Yeah.
I hope he comes by and watches us. I went and watched their stuff.
Yeah.
They
do. Rel is in the chat a lot. So
I've seen Rel.
Yeah, and I'm a member of their channel too, by the way. Not because I love Mavericks talk, as I support them. In that way, and then plus I like hearing about the NBA also.
I went over there and subscribed.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's not a good first impression. All I did was say, let's match up.
All I said was Kyrie sucks. Why you mad?
I said Kyrie ain't Kyrie anymore. Stop it. I said Clay ain't Clay anymore. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's true. I can say that about Mitch.
King Ember in the building. Salute to all the members of the channel, man. Make sure you coming through. If you are watching this for the first time, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so that you can hear these conversations between me and Coach and a whole host of others that break down that Nick talk the way that you like to have that Nick talk broken down for you.
Mm-hmm.
Coach.
I believe in my squad.
Yeah, man. Coach, I you know what? You know, I spend weird amount of hours breaking down Nick stuff, right? So I spend unrealistic amount of time breaking down the Knicks, right? Just watching tape of Knicks and their sets, what sets they run, their defensive philosophies, whether they run it or Dallas runs it. Yeah, so with that said, bro, I think the Knicks offense is gonna be elite this year. Not points per game, right? But I'm talking about in terms of efficiency. Like what we get this year and convert on versus what we got last year and didn't convert on, and the differences.
And and to piggyback on that, I think because our defense is going to be so good, it's going to create easy offense on the other side. You know, some transition buckets more than we normally get.
Yeah.
So I just think, I don't know. It's just going to be fun, man. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So what do you mean though? Like in terms of that, can you explain that? Break that down for us.
Well, because we have the perimeter wing defenders now that are such a high level, like with OG and Cale Bridges, we're going to be because a lot of ball handlers are going to be smothered. We're going to create more steals and more intercepting passes. Other teams' defenses are going to be sloppy. I mean, other teams' offenses are going to be a little sloppy with the ball because of some of the things we're going to be doing defensively. And then usually after a turnover, you know, you get the numbers and, you know, quick offense happens.
Right.
So I just think we're going to get a lot of that too.
Okay. All right. So I hear your point. I want to offer another one to the same thing. I legit think that we're going to wear teams down so much defensively that offensively teams are just not going to be able to handle two-way basketball for 48 minutes with us. Right? It's like when the I forget who the back was, but I think the Minnesota Vikings had a running back named Robert Smith, right? And Robert Smith would legit gash you where his thing was. He wasn't a power back. Where he wore down your defense is in chase mode. He'll break a long run, and then now you got all the big guys. You got a whole bunch of big guys trying to chase down a very fast back, emptying out their gas tank, being winded. You know what I'm saying? Chasing a fast dude all around, right? And so by the time I forget his name, I think the dude's name was Michael Bennett. You remember Michael Bennett? The running back from Wisconsin.
Jay Boogie
was good. And so by the time Michael Bennett entered the game, bro, you couldn't tackle Michael Bennett because Robert Smith had already ran for 130 yards, gassed you 10 or 12 times, right? And so what I'm getting at is I think the Knicks are gonna about 40 minutes of two-way basketball is gonna have teams in that last 8 minutes of a game just wore out, and the Knicks' depth is going to be what brings us home. Jay Boogie, what's good, bro?
What's good with the people, man? How y'all doing? What's happening, Coach, man? Ain't seen you in a
Good.
minute, man.
I know, man.
How
I
you
keep
feeling,
missing
my
you,
guy?
man. I'm good, brother.
It's
I'm real
okay,
good.
man. Man, good to see you, man. Blessed health, happiness to everybody. Shout out to
Thanks,
everybody that's
brother.
rocking with Freezy on this beautiful Friday evening, man. I just came up here, share a little bit of breaking news with y'all real quick.
Oh,
Just give me 1 second.
are you pregnant? No, I'm just playing.
Man.
Yeah, I'm outside the studio putting some work in, man. I just wanted to share a little something with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I need everybody to make sure they continue on hashtagging that we back on Christmas to New York Knicks and the Madison Square Garden. Make sure you hashtag that. Come this is the 4th year we back on Christmas. 4 years been running and 3 years for the video. I became a contract vendor in 2024 January. With official. So the conversation that we had that I will be performing that song live if we make it at 12 o'clock again. So 12 o'clock has came again, and I don't reach out back to him. I'm just waiting to have a Zoom meeting with him and everything. But I need everybody to hashtag that we back on Christmas and shout out to Cully
Oh,
and shout
yeah.
out to Papa Left because 12 noon back 12 and the 2/5. That's a major song, Christmas song. We play San Antonio Spurs, when they broke the schedule out for the Christmas, day. So I wanted to share that breaking news. He's my guy. I ain't shared that with nobody else yet. I wanted to share that with y'all, you know what I'm saying? For the love and respect for who y'all are and what y'all do.
No doubt, man.
Well deserved, brother. Well deserved.
Appreciate that, man. We're gonna be rocking that. That's about my 4th favorite J Boogie song. Right. That's about my 4th favorite. Yeah, so my favorite. So I got a list of J Boogie favorite songs, like about 17 about 15 songs, I think. 15 songs, right? J Boogie, I gotta play this, right?
Everybody see them catalogs. Everybody, but I'm gonna make it where it's everybody gonna have a place to go ahead and grab all this new music and everything. And I'm gonna throw in some classics with it too, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to come share that with y'all. Right now I'm in a 5-hour session laying down some heat, you know what I'm saying? So I'm back in the studio, but when you went live, I looked at my phone and said, let me jump outside real quick and come share that with y'all, man, for the love.
Appreciate it, man. We're gonna have to play breaking news then.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, go find that Christmas song.
we man. Yeah, man.
All right, y'all. You continue having a good night, man.
All right,
appreciate you, bro.
Stay hydrated, bro.
Yeah, man. Fritz Alcindor is in the building. Fritz Alcindor can't miss. Steph Curry legit has a poster of Fritz Alcindor and NBA Economy show on his wall. Fritz, what's good, bro?
Hey. Okay. So maybe he's having some technical difficulty.
Maybe it's me, and I think I might be having some tech difficulty.
No, I mean, I don't hear him.
Okay. Yeah, man.
But what were we just saying before Boogie came in?
Oh yeah, we got to free Fritz Alcindor because he might be caught up in the Matrix. Fritz, you in the Matrix? Mr. Alcindor. Yeah, I guess he in the Matrix, man. So
Fritz Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, that's him.
Who he is now?
Junior. Fritz Abdul-Jabbar Jr. Yeah. So the point that we were making before
testing.
There
he is.
Okay.
He is. Bro, we thought the Matrix sent 3 people for you, bro.
Nah, I had like the work, the whole work set up and the play set up. 2 different things.
We thought Danny Ainge was holding you hostage. All them good ideas to have, but you don't.
Yeah, I caught the show. You were representing New York.
Yeah, things were a little Yeah. That's the crossover, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the Matrix. Coach, hold it down. I'll be right back, bro.
I hear you.
Nah, I feel like I'm looking a little dicey. Hold on.
You're laggy right now, yeah. So for some of y'all out there that don't know what he was talking about, the crossover he aired a little earlier. He was on there with a couple of Mavs fans and a Hawks fan. And towards the end, they asked Freezy how good do they think we were, or how we were in the East or whatnot. And Freezy started getting in his bag a little bit.
Bim.
And now you kind of digitized.
Yeah, I know.
There it is.
Yeah. I know it was weird. It was weird, man. So yeah, I was making a point about how I think 40 minutes of two-way basketball is going to have teams weak in the knees in the last 8 minutes of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds like, oh man, who you Bo Schembechler? No, I'm not Bo Schembechler, bro. I'm not Woody Hayes, right? I'm not. What's the coach that used to coach Oklahoma?
Switzer?
Yeah, I'm not Barry Switzer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Lou Holtz. But what I do believe, and I was trying to allude to it on the crossover, I do believe the Knicks are built in a way that other teams want to be built, but are not.
Right.
They can't. Right? The Knicks are built in a way where the only comparable team I could see it is a very healthy Los Angeles Clippers. But when have the Clippers ever been healthy?
Nope.
Right? Like you have a scoring machine at point guard. You have 3 jumbo wings for their position and then rim protection. Mm-hmm. And then on the bench, you have legit 2 team player guys that want to come in and help the team win. They don't care about stats. Or 3 guys. Well, 4 guys. 4 guys. And so I think the Knicks are built perfectly for the beginning of the season. Now, as the season progresses, I do believe we'll probably have to add something, but we don't know what that additive is. You don't want to oversalt your food, right? You at least want to taste as you go, right? Not like Fritz who drinks Taster's Choice coffee, right? I drink Folgers and the one that start. What's the one that start with a B? The yellow bag. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that Bistro Cafe or something.
No.
Bustelo.
Yeah, Bustelo. Yeah. I got the Bustelo cups in there for the
Chuck full of nuts.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. So I mean, and I know Fritz drinks Taster's Choice and the one from Seattle. What's the one from Seattle? No, I don't know decaf, bro.
Starbucks, just Starbucks.
You drink Starbucks, bro?
No, I don't drink coffee.
Pardon me. I'm sorry. Pardon me.
I'm hot enough.
Yeah, man.
You know what got me off coffee was when I was in college. So when I went away to college, I played a little ball. And, back then, we didn't have them fancy Xboxes and PlayStation. We had a Sega Genesis. But, man, we was playing college football and Madden and all that. Up all night long. Had homework to do. Just kept playing games in rotation. Betting $5, betting the $20 mama sent us in a care package.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have Cash App.
No, not back then.
They used to have to send us the mail had all kinds of cash in the mail.
Yeah.
Like, Mama used to tape it like in the card a certain way and hide it.
Yeah, I had to go to Western Union.
Yep. But then all of a sudden it'd be 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like, man, I got class in the morning. I got to do this assignment. And this dude, one of the GAs or whatever, he was like, I kept smelling the coffee. I'm like, man. He's like, drink some coffee. I'm like, man, I never really drank coffee before. Oh man, try it, man. You know, keep you up. You know, it make you a little alert. I'm like, all right, man. I used to drink a pot of coffee like every night when I was in college.
What?
Finishing my damn assignments because we're playing video games all night, and that put coffee down low for me ever since then. I'm like, man, I can't drink that crap no more. They don't do nothing. Like I can drink that triple mega espresso and Cuban stuff. It don't even touch me.
And lay down, take a nap.
That's it, man. It don't do nothing for me. Now if I drink it, it's just like a dessert. It's like a treat, you know. It's got to be all foofy with creams and sugars, and you know, and dessert coffees. It ain't like I'm drinking all these people, like my parents. It's like part of their routine. Their little Groundhog Day. Well, put the pot of coffee on. You know, it's like such a habit.
Right.
But I wish it worked for me, but it don't. I can't even drink none of them energy drinks.
Nah, them energy drinks ain't no good for you, bro.
Nah, they get y'all jittery.
Yeah, them energy drinks, they no bueno. But hey, coach, I'm gonna ask Fritz a question, right? So Fritz, what do you see do you see anything shocking on the, and I don't want to steal none of your content. That's not what I'm doing. Because if you got some content out there, I don't want to infringe on it. But do you see anything out there? Cause I'll share, you know me. I don't mind, you know, but everybody ain't like that. But you know how it is. Do you see anything on the Knicks radar that might be a shock to Knicks fans? Like a move, and it doesn't have to be an external move. Maybe it's an internal move. Do you see a move that may have Knicks fans shocked?
I don't know. I at this point, I really want to know who's going to be associate coach.
Wow.
I really want to know.
Like, it's looking like they might have brought in Mo Cheeks for that.
Yeah, but they said he wasn't replacing anybody. I don't know if they're gonna get somebody. I don't know, get somebody with championship experience in that spot.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if it was somebody young, like up and coming, like he had the perfect guy for it. But and which I I think Johnny Bryant had a better developing relationship with the old guys we had. But this new group, he's not as influential, I don't think. Like especially Brunson. Like I think Tibbs is the messiah to as far as Brunson's concerned. Like that's his guy. That's who he wants to play for. That's who he's familiar with. He's family.
Yeah, I think. See, I think with Brunson, he's used to tough love. You see his dad,
right?
You know his dad grills him, so like he's okay with that. But like not all NBA players is cool with that.
Right, exactly. And then like for me, I think I don't know what Tibbs like. Does Tibbs have his own coaching tree? Like guys that have coached under him?
Yes,
but it's been a lot.
Yes,
it's been a lot.
But they're not sought after though.
Right. That's why I'm thinking it might be one of those guys that he covets to maybe continue on his stuff. because I wouldn't doubt Tibbs' next move one day is to take us to a certain point where we win a chip or two, and then he retires into the front office here to ride out the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And I would think he would bring someone in to kind of groom his replacement situation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's got that kind of pull or relationship with Rose for that. They
Mm-hmm.
seem to be pretty good right now, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I guess the next season he's going to dictate that.
Because I don't think Johnny Bryant wasn't his pick.
No, he wasn't.
No. Like, Johnny Bryant worked because he was good cop. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole Johnny Bryant was the. I mean, and I'm not putting down Johnny Bryant or lessening his what he was. He was like the mama, the daddy whoop your butt, and mom's it's okay, baby, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like Johnny Bryant was like the play, like he's the dude that kind of like, all right, man, you know what he's you know what he's trying to say, blah blah blah. He's there to kind of pat the wounds when you're after Tibbs gets on you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was good at the hands-on development stuff, where Tibbs will kind of bark out the things he wants. Johnny Bryant will maybe put it in a way where it's they take it in the information better. The ones that aren't like Brunson, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And plus, the head coach is busy, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta have constant communication. But the head coach too busy for just always side conversations and all that stuff, bro. You gotta have a staff. Anybody in here ever coach high school, bro? When all the high school kids try to talk to the head coach, bro, you like, man, nah, bro. You gotta have like 14 coaches, bro.
Yeah. And when you go to college, I'm not gonna lie, some dudes they don't even know their head coach half the time.
Yeah, bro.
You have your main relationship is with your position coach, your head coach.
Yep.
First.
Yep.
And then if you're on defense, your D coordinator, you kind of get in with depending on how big a role you got. But the position, I mean, that's like for that reason, the head coach of a team is just like President of the United States. They ain't got as much power as you think they got. I mean, they have power, decision power, but their influence on everybody isn't as much as people think.
Yes, on the day to day, they're not
right.
They're not doing the business day to day. Yeah.
Right. In basketball, it's a little more because there's less players and less coaches, that have hands-on decisions throughout a game. But as far as that's why I think. I mean, I'm curious why did anyone find out or know why they brought in Maurice Cheeks?
Because he's a quality coach. Yeah, I mean, the simple answer is he's too good not to be on somebody's bench.
Right. I agree with that.
And it's the same thing with Cameron Payne, right? Like, why did the Knicks get Cameron? He had been out there for so long. The Knicks like, yo, he been out here this long, bro. We gotta sign him, bro.
Yeah. Especially for the vet minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm curious. I don't know if there's guys that have been under Thibodeau that are young.
Dice.
How young they are.
Mark Bryant. Othello.
Okay.
Jop, the G League coach. That's pretty young.
Mhm.
But then you have Inman, is that his name, or Ernman? Ernman?
Ehrman. Yep.
Yeah, Ernman. Then Rick Brunson, who's kind of like mid, kind of halfway between, Mo Cheeks and Dice and those guys. But Fritz, to your question, and I apologize, everybody. I had low sugar. That the little thing that was going off, man. Low blood sugar. So
Oh
I'm
man.
just gonna eat me a quadruple cheeseburger just to get my blood sugar up.
There you
Mhm.
I just mess around.
go.
But
Spoonful of peanut butter and some orange juice, some milk.
yeah, man. But I think it's too late in the game to find a quality associate head coach, right?
Yeah.
Because if the guy was out there, I think he'd already have a job, right? And the thing with Johnny Bryant, I don't think Johnny Bryant got fired. I just think he had a 4-year deal, and his contract expired.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's just
Mhm.
and he decided to go somewhere else. That's just about all it was. Um, in terms of what Coach said about bringing in an experienced guy, what I find is when you have 3 old guys in a room talking about the future, you're doomed.
Mhm.
You're doomed. Like if you say, for instance, you bring in Terry Stotts, right? Say you bring in Terry Stotts. You got Terry Stotts. You have Mo Cheeks and Tom Thibodeau. And the question is, what do we do about these young kids? You see where I'm going with it, Fritz?
Yep.
And not that old people can't, not that older people can't, more seasoned people can't solve today's issues. There's a relational thing that you would probably want to have somebody closer to that to be able to express it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the names that I like usually come up with are like old people, right? But
Like,
I don't.
I mean, he's had because Brunson was an assistant with him at the Bulls for a little bit too, wasn't
Yeah, he's been in a few. He's been into a few
he?
teams.
I
Yeah.
remember he had Adrian Griffin too.
In the in
Was he
the
still
uh
coach?
in the chat we have a couple of Jerry Stackhouses.
Yeah. But
Um.
he's with Golden State now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Penny Hardaway,
Yeah.
Memphis.
I don't know if Penny's gonna. He's got a prime job right now, bro.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you
No.
who I would consider, and it'll make you laugh. I would consider Pablo Prigioni. And I know the chat's gonna be like, "Yo, who is Pablo Prigioni? Why would you say
No.
that
He's been
name?"
coaching. He's been doing his thing. Was he in Detroit or something?
I'm not sure, but he's gonna be somebody one day, bro.
Mhm.
I think they might be grooming Yoshimoto, honestly,
Yeah, Dice. Yeah, that's
in the
Dice. Yeah,
background. Yeah,
yeah,
Dice.
He's
I
been doing
think
summer
he's
league. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, for that reason, plus, I mean, because he falls under the new like nerdy side of the basketball stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like because he came up as a video guy. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Um, I think there's a lot because here's the thing. I know real live basketball isn't a video game. Okay, but was a time where, I mean, it's always, if you have the Jimmies and Joes, it's you have a better chance to win. That's obvious. I think the talent disparity was bigger back in the 90s and the 80s, 70s. Like the league was top heavy, and there was a certain amount of teams that had a lot more talent than the other teams. And I was there and I lived it. You can argue it all you want, but that's just true. That's the way it was. So coaching then, to me, wasn't as important as it is now. What I mean by that is nowadays there are so many great players. Like it's like who can't coach this group? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's gonna take a younger mindset and a new way to coach up like the things that we're gonna have, some of the best teams we're gonna have. Like Tom Thibodeau is the last of the dinosaur coaches. I'm just saying. Like after him, this is a young man. I'm an old dude. It's a young man's sport, bro. It's a young man's world. I mean, look at all the most successful. I mean, the Celtics coach is young. Like all the best coaches are young, man. Like Pops dying off, and Pops and Tibbs are the last of the old guys. I don't even want to mention Doc Rivers. I'm saying he ain't even. I don't know what's up with that dude. He's running the Bucks into the ground, but I just think that's the last of Tibbs' knowledge and great years, or these next couple of years. Like we're in the tail end of Tibbs, best years. Just being real, and we need to maximize the time we have with them. And hopefully, we do.
And coaches' responsibilities are different now too.
Right.
So coaches can be younger and younger and younger because now, whereas a coach had to go into a room and have to do all the homework by himself, now you have the video department and analytics department and all these separate things where now the coach is plugged into a network or database of information. Where back in the day, he would sit in a room with the projector. Remember the old projector? You know what I'm saying? This is the set they like to run right here. This is we're so far past that now having a coach with 50 years of experience because he sat through that is not valuable because the analytics department, the medical staff. You remember when your coach used to look at your injury and be like, "Nah, he good. He could play through it." You remember that, coach? Throw some tape on it. Tape that ankle hard. Take that ankle tighter. You know what I'm saying? Like if you played football in the 80s,
water makes you weak. Don't drink water.
Yeah.
I used to withhold, bro. I was practicing football in Florida, Central Florida. They was keeping us from water. We had kids like it took a kid or two to die. I mean, not just on my team, like in our area. And then also, maybe we should give them water. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, God bless the families that's happened. I don't mean to make a joke of it.
Nah, coach, I remember those days, bro, when they said
they used to run you hard.
And bro, I remember that's why I have a hard time drinking water. It's the same thing as my coffee thing. I don't like water because it was so ingrained in me. And like when I'm trained, like I compare drinking water to I used to drink it when I was dying inside. I was feeling the worst I've ever felt, and I had to drink some water. And I remember we used to drink it at our football practice, we had a PVC pipe screwed
holes
to the
in it.
wall.
Yeah.
Yep, and they drilled holes in the PVC pipe
Yep.
with a hose
Yep.
connected to the end of it. And everyone, the whole team, would sprint to be the first hole that
Yep.
was next to the hose because you didn't want to be the last hole because
You didn't want to
few
be the
reasons.
last hole. Ha ha
Yeah. Pause.
ha.
Like the first hole, all the strength of the water, you had the best water pressure out of that hole. So you had the most water coming out. Then around the fifth or sixth hole, it was like it was barely coming out. And when you dying of thirst, you don't give a damn what you put your mouth on to drink. Everyone had their mouth on the PVC pipe. So by the time you on the last hole, you get everyone's backwash. Everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, but to that point, it's. I really think. I mean, there was a time when Pat Riley was the young up and coming coach. There was a time when Phil Jackson was the new young coach. You know, and we're living through it now with Spoelstra. When Spoelstra was first given that Miami job, they're like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Yep.
You know, and now he's regarded as. I mean, if you take a poll from everybody, people usually say him first.
Yeah.
Best coach. You know.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I will give. I hate giving Miami credit for nothing. Oh, chat. I knew you was gonna go there. I mean, I know we don't want to. We feel a certain way about Miami, but you got to give them credit. They did stuff right in their front office stuff. So, and I think we're getting there. So I'm hoping. I don't know who the next young guy is. It'd be nice. I mean, I would love it to be. Well, it would be cool if it was an ex-Nick, but I mean, I don't know. How many ex-Knicks are coaching
Not too many.
Yeah.
right now?
I don't know if the coaching thing is even a question in terms of post Tibbs. Excuse me. Who, like, if we're talking post Tibbs, I think we may. Excuse me. Wow, we may be 3 years out from that.
Right.
Right. But to Fritz's question, like the associate head coach, is that an internal decision you make, Fritz?
Take Tibbs out of the equation and just
No, the associate head coach.
internal.
Do you just give that job to Dice?
He seems to have a good rapport of people.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. You don't really hear. You really don't hear what's going on behind the scenes, but
Right.
it should be someone who can relate to both sides.
Right.
And not only just who's here, because like just who's here, they may be cool, but if you get another player who's not, we got to have someone who could adjust to who's not here yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't see him keeping it vacant, or just keeping it vacant.
That's interesting, man, because to me, if it was that important, they'd have filled that whole vacancy by now. It's August. You know what I'm saying? Why would you let the good candidates leave the pool, so to speak?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think it's someone that's on the staff already. That they're looking to kind of slowly groom. And I mean, what's the importance? Like, because when you have, I mean, you're talking, you see all the guys with the tablets on the bench, and then the second and third row of the bench behind. There's about, I mean, yeah, there's your named assistant coaches, but then there's another 5, 6 guys that
Development.
are
Yep.
the development staff too. That's all part of the mix. So, and a lot of those guys look pretty young. So maybe it's one of them guys. I don't know.
Othello Harrington or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt. I mean, that'd be a. I don't know him well enough to speak on his coaching.
Yeah. Oh no,
chops.
he's just one of the guys who's usually back there.
Yeah, I mean, he must be in training.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely learning. I mean, it's a bit. What's great about what I think is valuable about Tibbs, being young, watching him work, is how hard what time he puts in with film and all that stuff. Like, and Tibbs has always been able to get the most. Now, this is unfortunately his regular season hasn't translated to postseason success, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to give Tibbs a pass, but it just seems like every season of every team he's just had some bad luck, man. A lot of seasons. It's weird. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
after a while, you start. That's why the rumors come out. Oh, he's working his guys into the ground. Derrick Rose and
Well,
Jimmy Butler was always banged up, and Luol Deng, and all these guys he plays so much.
Joakim Noah.
No, yeah.
oh yeah.
So,
I
but
mean,
the
Julius,
thing is,
Julius Randle.
I think he's going to coach the way he coaches, and if you're a durable player, it ain't gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. So it's not like everyone's been hurt under him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I find it kind of funny, like how everybody talks about how Tibbs had a great year, but his shot was in danger in December. Like I really thought he was gonna get fired. Like before the trade went down, I thought
And
I thought he should have got fired.
and 'cause you're talking about when the Knicks were 17. The Knicks were 17-15
Yes,
through 32 games.
yes,
Yep. Yeah, bro.
yeah. People forget. People forget.
Yeah, and but it's not just this December. It was last December too.
hmm
Remember? I mean, well, December 22. Remember December 20? Was it December 22? No, or was it December 21? Remember? Maybe it was December 20. December 21. That season was lost. The 21-22 season. That was a bad season. So I'm talking about the year where we beat Memphis, the first game of the season in overtime. Cam Reddish hit the game with the 3 to send the game in overtime. Y'all remember that? No, I guess it's just me. Or I guess it was.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head. Yeah, I remember.
No, I'm talking about the chat, bro. I'm talking about the chat. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he finishes the year strong every year. Like,
yeah,
finishes strong, but like, yeah, it got shaky. It got shaky last year.
Yeah.
Here's why I don't. Like I said, it's another one of those people dredging up a theory crap. There's no better time in history in sports as far as knowledge of the body, training, diet, exercise, recovery. We're at the forefront of all of it right now. Okay. And dudes in the 90s and 80s and 70s, hell, even Wilt and Russell and all them ages, they were playing in damn Chuck Taylor, bro. And all these people have been playing all these years. Look at Patrick Ewing's games played per season. Look at the minutes. I don't want to hear this shit no more. People that is Tibbs. Because he ain't playing people no more and no more games, no more minutes than anyone ever used to play. The stars play, the best players play 80 games, 38 minutes. And that's just, and even some of the players on this team say it. I don't want to leave the game. Mikal Bridges says it. He was interviewed about it a couple times. So I want to always play. I want to always be in there. I don't want to come out. So that whole rhetoric, I'm just tired of hearing it. Just people, like, any chance people get to make an excuse on why we get hurt. Oh, it's just a freak accidents, man. Injuries are accidents. Now, sometimes the other team may do something to push along the accident. But, Jaime Jaquez didn't purposely hurt Russell Randall's shoulder. I mean, was it a dumb charge take? Yeah. I don't think Embiid purposely tried to twist Mitchell Robinson's ankle and hurt him.
You tripping, bro. man, you bugging.
You're not listening. You're not listening. I'm not saying he didn't mean to trip him up and make him fall or I don't think he grabbed the foot to try to do a figure four to death lock on his legs, Ric Flair style. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, I don't think these guys are just.
Hey, coach, the 200 million people on Twitter disagree with you, bro. There's video evidence that man grabbed that man's ankle and twisted it. We saw it. There was a clip on Twitter that got like 20 million views. I shared it myself. Now, if you're saying did Embiid trip Mitch? No, but the opportunity was there to twist Mitch's ankle. He absolutely did. He absolutely did, bro. There's no way around that. He did it.
Well, that sucks. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, man. I'm not trying. I'll find
it. I'll be right back.
All right. Look, man. I'm used to it. I'm not saying because I played sports. I don't put as much. Everyone is trying to hurt people in the piles. I've been poked in the eye. I've been bit. I've had things twisted, fingers bent back, all that stuff. So I mean, I don't know. So, and I don't have diabetes. I don't have sugar problems. So if any of y'all want to come in, talk your talk. The link's in the chat. So I got energy. I'm up all night. I'm sorry I don't have an excitable tone to my voice. That's just the way I talk. So anyway, what I'm saying is I don't think that players in the moment, no one thinks that fast. Like the dude was falling over and stepping over. It's like, oh, let me grab his foot and ankle and purposely twist it so he can be hurt for the rest, so I can have a better rest of my series. It's not like this planned out thing that people make it out to be. Was it a dirty play? Yeah. But it was just bang, 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 just like that. So, and then no one goes into these games like purposely trying to hurt people. Like the whole conspiracy theory like, oh, the Heat are always trying to hurt us. Oh, they just play physical. That's just a. Apparently, y'all never watched the old Knicks games and the Pistons play. Those were some rough ass games. Get some recordings of those old games that they used to do to each other.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan like the Rick Mahorn. I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't
like them dudes were purposely trying to. They had goons on the team, like the hockey players. Hockey teams had goons. You know, like basketball, like that kind of started in the 70s, a little bit of the 80s. Each NBA team kind of had a goon on their team. I mean, you used to not get kicked out for a fight. It used to, man, I had to sit on the bench for a little bit, you know. And hockey is just a penalty, but in basketball, there used to be fights all the time, fist fights. I mean, remember Rudy Tomjanovic's face?
Yeah, that changed everything. Yeah,
that dude. Yeah, that's when they went, oh man, maybe we shouldn't let him do this.
He walked right into it.
Yeah. What was it? Kermit Washington?
Mm-hmm.
They hit him? Yeah. So, anyway, the point I'm trying to make, I'm not trying to dispute, okay, maybe there was an instance where Embiid was being desperate and dirty. Okay, I get it. Okay, I did watch the play a few dozen times, but zoom it in a little bit. Oh, well, I can make it bigger. Never mind. Oh, just when I expanded it, you turned it off. Right.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, bro. It ain't that one. That example, bro. Let's just move on, bro, from that one. And the other stuff, I can dig it, bro. But that one,
but well, either way, the point what I'm really trying to make here in the end is it ain't Tom Thibodeau's fault. Is what I was trying to get at. Really, that was the main focus I was getting at. So, unfortunately, the Knicks have been unlucky with that.
but it's ironic how a narrative follows one guy. Like the Knicks didn't have injury issues until they started winning, or is maybe there's something to the Thibodeau thing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's a part of the injuries are a part of the game, right? It's something that you got to live with, right?
And it's not even the injury. I don't think if you went through every team, I just think the unlucky part of the Tibbs ones is the wrong damn guys. Like when your best guys get hurt, it compounds the severity of it. Like when Derrick Rose got hurt. I mean, Jesus.
Ruin that man's career, bro.
Yeah, the worst thing.
That man being Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like the worst person that could be hurt. And then when your better players are getting hurt, it just seems a lot worse. But on every team, there's guys getting hurt on every team, but it's not always the best players. So people don't talk about those injuries.
Oh, Ivory 10 is back with a vengeance, baby. Ivory 10 says it wasn't just a good guy. It was every guy on the roster pretty much. A surgery at the end of the year. Bim, Ivory 10.
I can say the sky's blue, and this dude's gonna put something out there to rebut it.
Ivory 10 is in the building.
Salute, Ivory 9.5. You ain't no 10. You ain't no dime. You pretty. You pretty as hell. You ain't no 10. You about a 9.5.
Yeah, man. So, chat, what do y'all think? Do you think you should attribute the injuries to Tom Thibodeau? Chat, just
No.
I'm not judging. I'm talking to the chat.
Well,
Yeah. Chat,
mm,
tell us what y'all think, man. Tell us what y'all think on the injuries and things of that sort. I am in the middle on it, and not because I'm afraid to talk for or against. I'm in the mindset that the guys that play for the Knicks that generally have the hurt reputation generally get hurt under Tibbs. Right? If you
yeah,
already had the reputation for a guy that's going to get hurt, Tom Thibodeau's not going to do anything to make your life easier. That's my thought on it.
mhm,
Guys that generally stay healthy under Tom Thibodeau. Now, here's the thing. Jalen Brunson, for the last 2 seasons, has been injured a lot,
yep,
hurt a lot.
yep,
And so it's something there's something for us
Yeah.
to monitor.
But that's because his personal style of play. He takes the charges, he bumps. Like the way he goes into the paint all the time. I mean, that's just, and he's diminutive. He's a diminutive guard,
yeah,
and it's gotten more prevalent these last 2 years because of how much usage he's had compared to what he's had been used in the past. Now, was he banged up that first year when he was with Randall?
Yes.
mhm,
Absolutely banged up.
yeah.
He had a surgery at the end of the year.
Nah,
No,
he
I
was
don't.
limping around.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if you see that he's hurt, play him less minutes. Like, he's
Right.
limping. How is he still putting in? How is he still putting in 38 minutes? Like, if you know he's limping, oh, tonight maybe you should do it 28, and then I just like Tibbs. If you're upright, he's just gonna play you, and
Yeah. Like
it's just the adjustment isn't there. Like,
I don't think there is a situational awareness there.
mhm,
I think he just don't care. Winning is more important than all the other stuff. And it's one of those things, damn the torpedoes. Tonight is the most important night of the season, and that is his mindset every night. Yeah, and so the thing with Jalen Brunson, for those that don't remember the injuries for Jalen Brunson had a right hip thigh back contusion in Chicago. Remember that when he got hip checked and left the game, he came
mhm,
back, he couldn't play. Yeah, I remember that, right? And then he comes back off of that, limping in that game. And 3 games later, he sprains his wrist and thumb. Remember the wrist and thumb on his shooting hand?
yep,
Right. And then ever since then, he had been wearing this strange wrap on his hand. Yeah, I remember Jalen Brunson before the wrist wrap, right? Before he wore the wrist wrap on his hands. There was a
mhm,
thumb wrist injury before that. He didn't come to the Knicks with a wrap on his thumb and on his wrist. And that lingered all season. As a matter of fact, Jalen Brunson rested at the end of that season when all we had to do was beat Indiana, but we lost. Remember, we lost to Indiana and to the Pelicans back to back because Jalen Brunson and Randall didn't play. Jalen Brunson also limped into that playoffs with a ankle on the opposite leg, right? But to his absolute credit, he gutted out and had the playoffs of a lifetime that year. Now, here's the thing. This year, coming into the playoffs, Jalen Brunson had a right foot sprain. We didn't know how severe it was, but he gutted through it. And as the playoffs went along, he seemed to get better on that foot, but he ended his season with a fractured hand.
Mhm.
So does Jalen Brunson get injured? Does he get hurt? Yes. Did Tom Thibodeau have any other choice? I'm gonna say no, but reasonable minds are gonna say you always have a choice. In
mhm.
every decision you make, there is no such thing as I had no other choice. There's always a choice.
Mhm. But my thing is the kind of player that Brunson is, Randall is, like You leave it up to guys like that, they're gonna play. They don't need the coach to tell them to go in or make them go in. That's the part that bothers me. The rhetoric that the coach is making them.
You have to be the voice of reason. You got to be the voice of reason. And it's like, oh, I got to have him for 5
That's
more
where
years.
Thibodeau is old school.
Yeah.
There's trainers and doctors that tell him that. If the player says he can play, and the medical staffs tell him, no, coach, you can't go. If the medical staff ain't telling him that, then he's gonna play. Like that's just.
I'll give you another example. OG Anunoby in warm-ups in Game 7 could barely even walk, not even jog. But at the beginning of that game, man, it brought a tear to your eye how much OG Anunoby wanted to play in a Game 7 for the Knicks, right? Tom Thibodeau in that moment was like, OG, listen, man, I got to sit you. Remember, he sat OG Anunoby down.
Yes.
OG Anunoby didn't sit himself down, right? After Tibbs saw that OG Anunoby couldn't get back on defense, remember, we jumped. OG Anunoby scored 5 points in 5 minutes, right? But he couldn't get back on defense. Indiana jumped out on us, and Tibbs sat him because Indiana was just running by OG Anunoby. Right, Tom Thibodeau did what was best for the team in that moment, right, but he didn't necessarily. It wasn't about doing what's best for the player, but doing what's best for the team in that moment was what was best for the player in that moment at the same time, right? But if we were up 20 and OG wanted to play, I don't know if Tibbs would have sat him. You know. I'm not bashing again. I'm not bashing Tibbs, man, but there is an element of injury thing that follows this dude, follows Thibodeau, and generally where there's smoke, there's fire. Generally, does Tibbs injure players? No. Does he maybe mismanage injuries?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that might be the Derrick Rose thing was unfortunate, and that's going to be a mark on his career. Like Mike Ditka not getting Walter Payton a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Certain things are just going to follow you, and there's no way that you can correct it. Right? The Derrick Rose might have been first ballot Hall of Famer if Tom Thibodeau didn't have him in the game and they had a 47-point lead. Like, yo, bro, and I know 47 points is not the actual, but it was beyond blowout. I think it was beyond blowout. It was so bad that you probably didn't even put your backups in. You probably put your developmental players in, and then Derrick Rose get injured in that moment. And that's one of the things that's going to stick with Tibbs. It's unfortunate. It's just one of those things that happens. But is there a way for us to fix it? Yes, and the Knicks did it by bringing in the guy from Dallas.
Yeah, and they try to put
but my thing is the injuries that happen though, they're not related to minutes played injuries. Just saying.
But they're compounded. Like it's over time. Like some of these are like over time. It doesn't necessarily hey, one game did it. But like stress happens over time.
So they're not okay. I get what you're saying. So you're saying it's not an energy issue. It's not an energy injury. It's a fatigue injury.
Yeah.
Like dudes playing 40 minutes. Like Josh Hart getting injured in Game 6, right? Was maybe not a freak injury, but maybe it was a fatigue injury where Josh Hart played 17,000 minutes during the season, and finally him mentally pushing through a wall was more than his body could take. Because his abdominal tear, that's a fatigue injury. That's not one of those injuries where, you know, he tried to dunk on somebody and fell and sprained his wrist. It's just a fatigue injury. It's part of it. But deep in the playoffs, when everybody else is hurt, you got to play Josh Hart.
Abdominal strain is too. That's a That's not just a fatigue injury. That's just an overexerting yourself, like on a overstretched thing, or he gets bumped a certain way, twisted a certain way.
Mm.
I'm just saying, like to me, I, I'm just everyone has it's so quick to point fingers to blame on stuff. I'm just they don't put enough solace on just
But I think,
some people have good luck and some people have bad luck with that shit, man. It's just weird.
yeah, I think what Tibbs is, if they had all these bad things to say about Tibbs, and then Tibbs, changed his approach, I think it'd go away. But for Tibbs just to double down and not care, it's always gonna be there, no matter what.
Bro,
But the thing is,
Long Island dudes ain't gonna change for nobody, bro. You ain't never been to Long Island, bro.
I,
Sprint, you ain't never been to Long Island, bro. The dudes on Long, they ain't gonna change for nobody, bro. They gonna do it their way,
yeah, yeah,
and they
you're
gonna
right.
ignore everybody. They gonna ignore
Yeah,
everybody else.
okay,
exactly.
if the Knicks got okay, if the Knicks had the perfect off season and 1 through 15, they were stacked 1 through 15. Tibbs would still play 9, and
I
just
really don't think. Well, that's another thing that
it,
kills me. No NBA coach plays more than 9. Come on, stop it. It's just I'm just tired of these little
no, but I
Nick
mean, but
Nick
it's just
bullet points. These Nick fan bullet points. I always
but
hear.
but
He's
you
never
gotta
he's never
you
had
gotta
a team
stretch it.
like this. He's
But
never had a team
you
like
gotta
this.
stretch it out, because that's how you get to 82 games.
If he does it this time, then yeah, I'll start blaming him. This is the first year he's had a lineup,
But you got to get
and
through the
all
82 games. You got to get through the 82 games. Playoffs, you could do whatever you want, but you got to get
bro,
through the 82
Mitch
games.
being hurt, he started off already with that crap last year, and then all of a sudden Julius, that that kills your rotation, man. Who's gonna play Daquan Jeffries and Washington and Shake Milton? Come on, man.
Bro, I think that's why they up. I think that's why they upgraded 1 through 13, bro.
Right.
Because when he looked down at the bench and you see Charlie Brown and that stupid ass cast, bro, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think my most hated Nick ever is Charlie Brown Jr. And he did nothing to me, bro. He did nothing to me but wear that damn what do you call workers comp cast?
I
That's what I
can't
call it,
stand
bro.
Jacob Toppin. Anytime I saw Jacob Toppin get in the game, I'm like, oh god, it's over.
Every time I see Charlie Brown Jr. with that dumb fuck that damn workers comp cast on his wrist, bro, I want to jump out of a plate glass window, bro. Bro, you over there getting workers comp, and this dude's legit really out here working hurt. Oh my god, bro. I'm so glad, bro. I'm so glad Charlie Brown. And no disrespect to the Knicks or Charlie Brown Jr., but the optics of it, bro, you in street clothes every game.
And the thing is, they interviewed Josh Hart about this before. And Josh Hart's like, it's idiotic. It was in my 7 years playing the NBA, I've never had this many days off. People aren't at our practices. They think we're out here scrimmaging for 3 hours. Like, people don't, I just can't stand people that speak in absolutes when they don't know really what's going on behind the scenes. You think these guys get tired just from that 36 to 42 minutes they play? There's a whole rest of the week. I mean, these guys they're the ones that we say are not in good shape. They're still the upper 1% of human beings in the world on their body's a temple. And some of them are just a little more fragile than others, I guess.
I would say that just more balance couldn't hurt.
Right.
All right, just more balance. I'm not saying let the dudes play 72 games and they over there in street clothes just because they needed a day off. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah,
right?
I
I'm
don't want
saying
to do that whole.
if they could play 82, play all 82. But I noticed I saw with my own eyes this year when the Knicks are up, when Randall got hurt, we were up 17. We were up 17 late into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's when he pisses me off.
Bro, the year RJ Barrett sprained his Fritz, you remember the year RJ Barrett sprained his ankle? We were up 30 on the Denver Nuggets with
Mhm.
like 8 seconds left to go. Why is RJ Barrett in the game
Oh yeah.
with
Oh
30
yeah.
up 30 with 8 seconds left to go in the game? And RJ Barrett under the rim sprains his ankle. Right under Tibbs. That's ridiculous. That's Tibbs. You got to be aware. You got to have awareness, bro. And if Mitchell Robinson is if his body is telling you that he is an 18-minute per game player, play that man 18 minutes. Right? That's the thing. People are saying, well, Mitch got to stay healthy. Mitch got to stay. Bro, Mitch is not a 28-minute per game player. How many times do you have to see Mitch play 28 minutes and get hurt for us to say Mitch is not a 28-minute per game player? He's not, and so I know it complicates things. People are probably say, "Well, that means we got to bring in a third center." Well, bring in a third center. I mean, what does that mean? Does that mean you have to bring in a starter that's going to play 28 minutes, and then you're gonna have to bring in another guy? Just rotate 3 guys in there for all 48 minutes. Then do it. You do it for your guards.
Yeah, we have a third point guard. We have a third shooting guard. We have a third small forward.
Then do it. I mean, it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind how simple some issues are to solve with common sense. That we make it complicated because we just want to stand our ground and draw a line in the sand.
That's why they have 15 roster spots.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like for instance, if you know Mitch is fragile, right? If you know Mitch is fragile, and no disrespect to Mitch, but if you know Mitch is fragile, right? Then why are we playing Mitch in back-to-back games? Why should we? Should you play Mitch or OG Anunoby? Should you play Mitch or OG Anunoby in the back-to-back game where you got the next day off? Give them the day off, bro. I'm not saying that these dudes shouldn't play 75 games. They should. But you don't have 8 or 9 back-to-backs during the regular season anymore like it was in the 90s where you might have 3 games in a row, right? Like before the 99 collective bargaining agreement, you would see a NBA team legit would play 3 games back-to-back on three straight nights.
Double headers. I remember the double headers on the Saturdays.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a time where if you were a West Coast team, you legit played New York, New Jersey, Philly in back-to-back nights. Bim, 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 and get out of town and go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and now I kind of wish Tibbs could kind of back off a little bit. And I kind of understand where coach is coming from. The dudes want to play, let them play ball. I think there's a happy median somewhere in there, like what Fritz was saying. Like sometimes you just got to use common sense. Tibbs, if you're up 40, right? If you up against the Celtics is a good example, right? A good example. And coach, this is a good example for why Tibbs don't do it, right? Do you remember the Knicks were up 33 on Boston in Boston going into the fourth quarter? You remember that? And Boston and Tibbs emptied the bench at the beginning of the fourth quarter. The fresh fourth quarter clock, right? Tibbs emptied the bench.
Boston kept their starters in.
And Boston went on like a 30-0 run and got back in the game. Now it wasn't 30-0, it just seemed that way. Right? Mm-hmm. They bombed away. Everybody with a green shirt on hit a 3, right? And for that reason, Tibbs, I think, doesn't let his foot off the gas. But you can't use that as the standard. The team that did that to us eventually were the NBA champs. So even though you tried it and it didn't work, you can't use that as the example and say, no, I'm never going to do it again, because the NBA champs came all the way back and we had a 30-point lead and we only won by 11. I don't think you can use that as an example. Now, should Boston had waved the white flag there? They couldn't. Boston couldn't wave the white flag there, not because they needed that game. They had already clinched the division, I think. Or clinched they clinched a lot of stuff, right? But Boston had been hearing the same rumors that the Knicks had been hearing. Yo, if you ever get the Knicks and the Celtics on the court, bro, this version of the Knicks is gonna wash the Celtics. And when we put them on the court at the same time, the Celtics came out and the Knicks washed the Celtics for 3 quarters. Does that mean Tibbs should have pulled the start going forward? Tibbs is gonna pull. Nah, you can't go by that game. That game's an anomaly everywhere. First of all, no team is going to be blowing out Boston by 33 points through 3 quarters. They're just too good, right? We just came out and we washed them up, right? And then at the same time, the injury thing, hey, take these guys out, man, because of injury. You already lost Randall. You know what I'm saying? You already lost Mitch, blah, 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 all this stuff. Yeah. So ultimately, what I'm getting at is you have to kind of you have to let common sense be the purveyor of decision making during the day. You can't just make a decision the night before and then see how things play out and then go by last night's decision. You still got to use some common sense.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, Fritz, the reason why I asked you the question, is there anything on the radar that you think is going to be surprising, so to speak? It's because I think I have one. I think I have two.
Okay. All right.
The one thing I have is, I think once the Knicks go to training camp, I think somebody is going to surprise the public, not the organization, because I think the organization knows already. But I think in training camp, a player is going to surprise everybody and burst into the rotation coming from off the radar, right? And I think you guys know who I want to say, but I want to keep that a secret just for a little while. But I believe there is a player at the back end of the roster, not in the rotation, at the back end of the roster, is going to go into training camp and take somebody's job. That's what I think. And it's going to be, in my mind, it's going to be a fan favorite. It's going to, a player that has a hive is going to have his job taken by somebody at the back end of the rotation, back end of the roster. Chat, y'all care to guess who I'm thinking about? A player that has a hive is going to go to training camp and get his job taken by somebody at the back end of the roster.
Don't say it. They're gonna get you.
How new is the player? That's taking the job.
I'm sorry, say that again.
How new is the player that's taking the job?
Very new.
Very.
Very new.
I actually have two players that I think could probably
not numero uno.
You're gonna let us get a stab at it before you say it?
No. Say I'm not gonna share mine. I'm gonna save mine for I'm just gonna save mine for a couple of weeks. But if you want to talk about who you think,
my two are Tyler Colett and Bates Diop. I think Bates Diop's gonna sneak in the rotation, bro.
Actually, I think
and I'm not saying it's like he's going to replace Josh Hart or anything, or none of that crap. But I don't know. I just think he has this. He's got Josh Hart qualities, but he's 6'8". So maybe he can be a de facto four with the bench group sometimes, which I know right now that's precious, technically. But he's being counted on for a backup five right now until Huck Portier or Sims shows us something. That's just the two names I had threw out there.
Okay.
Okay. I think Dante is gonna be the starter again. You gotta take somebody's starting job again next season.
That is a
And you know
hot
what? And not
take.
only that, I think it'll make him. mm, yeah, I think it'll make him think the lineup over. I think he's gonna
What?
push himself. I think he's gonna push
Bro,
himself into a major role like next season.
being six man of the year is a pretty major role.
S- Hmm.
How much more major do you want to be?
I don't know.
I just think,
A lot more time with Randall. Maybe Randall not playing the four. I think they're gonna have to be forced to think about Randall at the five.
hmm,
No, nobody's shooting the three ball like Devo. Nobody. No, I
I
think
don't
yeah.
know. Bridges without
No.
pressure of
Push Bridges,
being,
push everybody up one. Maybe
you
not
think
starting,
OG's
but like
going, you think
a
they're
lot of
going to put
time with
$200 million
Randall
on
at
the
the
bench?
five. Yeah,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
just shift everybody up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, there's teams out there that run. I mean, look at, and I'm not trying to sound blasphemous because we don't have two shooters like uh, Steph and when Clay was in his prime. I'm sorry, Clay ain't Clay no more. Sorry, Dallas. Rel, if you're around. Sorry. There's a reason why they let Clay go. Okay. Um, they were using Draymond at the center.
yeah.
They called it the death lineup, whatever the hell they called it.
hmm
I mean, it was good enough for them to win championships.
I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be the controversy. Maybe they don't do it, but it'd be like, should they? Should they? You know, should they shift them or should they sit McCall or should they? I think it's just gonna be like a little controversy.
Well, I,
I give it 15 games before it's a controversy.
I
15
think
games.
Tibbs would be in, Tibbs would be doing a disservice to the talent on our roster if he didn't try it a few times, especially the first half of the year, to see how it looks a bunch of times for extended minutes. Because, like you said, with that lineup in, with Brunson, Dante, Bridges, OG, and Randall, we can average 140 damn points a game. I mean, that's going to be crazy. We might give up. I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, how many centers in the league would Randall honestly have a hard time defending?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Man, like obviously Embiid and Jokic.
You can get away with it with whole lot more teams than you think.
I
Yeah.
know that's what I'm saying. And to be honest with you, look at he might be the better option to cover Porzingis on the perimeter. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is this: did you watch that game with? I, I know this is gonna be blasphemous to say too, because I'm not trying to compare guys on the Knicks to legends.
Oh, Olympics.
So, yeah, but
Oh
would
yeah,
you
Embiid
say?
was out of. Oh, Embiid was out of shape. Embiid's
Yeah,
way
well,
out of
no,
shape.
Embiid looked good in that Serbia game. So
No,
he
he
was the
looked good, but
go-to
he's
guy
out of
for that.
shape.
Right. But
Yeah.
no, what I'm referring to is this: physically, right now, Randall and LeBron are very similar at this point in
Same
LeBron's
height.
career.
Yep.
Like the
Mm-hmm.
height, weight, physicality, and that whole fourth quarter, LeBron was D'ing up Jokic. Now, I'm not saying, it can't be done. Like, well, Randall's not LeBron. I'm not. Don't even. Those are gonna go nuts, making me say, "Oh, you're saying Randall's better than LeBron and all this shit." I ain't saying that. I'm just saying, man to man, he's physical. Physically, he's similar to LeBron. He he's more like LeBron than most players in the league as far as his game, his physical makeup, the things he can do on the court. Like there are many people that can say they're physically like LeBron. Yeah, he's close to it, as close as any other people can be. So
Mm-hmm.
in the league, the way the centers are now, that's why the thing that makes me nervous about Mitch with him having to chase around like more mobile centers and more centers that stretch the floor
Mm-hmm.
because that's going to up his mileage on switches and stuff. And I know if he's going to have a center out on the perimeter, Mitch is going to be out there man to man on him all the time.
Yep.
He's going to be kind of dropping back and man in the paint kind of thing. But still, it's like chasing around these modern centers. That's my only. That's why I go back and I I don't doubt Mitch in a limited role. That's why Mitch needs help. You know, so we can't. I don't want to have to count on him that much, even if he stays healthy. We're just we got to have a center by committee, especially when
Yeah.
we play Embiid. Because he's going to get foul calls, so we need as many fouls as possible for
Mm-hmm.
so at that position.
Mm-hmm.
So so if you look at the other threats, I mean, are we worried about Brooke Lopez anymore in Milwaukee? I mean, friggin' Ashley Randall used to do pretty well covering Giannis, but now we have OG for that. So Randall, he can cover Brooke Lopez on the perimeter, you know. And I'm trying to think of all the top team centers. Miles Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Randall can cover. Well, they're about the same size technically. Miles Turner's really only what 6'10",
Mm.
6'11". I mean, I don't know. And then, yeah, I'm trying to think of all the top team centers. I mean, there's no one really that can give him problems
Mm-hmm.
if we did do that. So maybe there's something to it.
Yeah.
But the thing that hurt, the thing that I don't like for Randall's sake is his game is too diverse to limit him to quote unquote five. But the way our offensive set is, though, it's not like he's gonna be posted up on the block. We're gonna be doing that five out stuff that Boston does, that
Mm-hmm.
Golden State does. It's just the modern NBA. and we're finally got the personnel to do it too. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I think there's something to it, like you said. I don't think the as much as I personally, I was president of the iHeart Hive. I still defend it today. Ivory and whoever else has the blasphemy against my iHeart. We're gonna miss some of the things he did for sure, but the things iHeart did were a lot more important because we didn't have Randall and we didn't have OG at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like that's why anyone that comes to any absolutes or jump to conclusions about players from last year, you can't do that because that was an anomaly. Like the roles everyone had last year was all out of necessity and need. It's not what's going to be their roles this year. Brunson's going to have
Mm-hmm.
a different role. Josh, Dante. If Ihart did stay here, he wouldn't have to do as much as he was doing last year either. But some of the stuff he does, Randall does now. Anyway, so that's the thing. And I'm not saying we don't miss Ihart. I wish we had him for the right price. But yeah, it's going to hurt. I want him to stay on the team. I think he wanted to stay.
We talking about Hartenstein again?
No.
I'm just asking. I ain't sure. I ain't tripping.
Yeah. No, we were speaking on if Randall at center situation and the things he does that that other players on our team had to do because he wasn't there. Like you can't replace Randall because there's only one guy that can do everything Randall does, and that's Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you couldn't replace when OG went out because there was no one that defends like he does. God forbid if Brunson had gone out for a extended period of time, no one could do what he did.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yep. My phone. I just heard it. Oh, here it is. What happened? What happened to
David
Freezy?
David Smith says, "Are the Knicks a sinking ship with all the coaches leaving? We just got a new development coach. We got one that left, but we just got a new one."
Yeah, that's not. Look, this happens on every staff in the league. Um, the thing is, um, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to waste my time speaking on it. Really, I don't think that has anything to do with Tibbs.
No.
He ain't hard to work for. People have
Yeah.
nothing but praise for Tibbs, ex-players.
Yeah.
There's players that are retired now that have no reason to talk good about Tibbs. If they have every freedom in the world to be like, oh, screw that guy. But every
Yeah.
time I see all these podcasts he gets brought up, everyone says positive stuff about Tibbs. Garnett, Paul Pierce, all of them.
Yeah. Let me see.
Now,
They won't be contenders until they address the voided center. I think the voided center, they're gonna address it eventually. They just got a lot of time. They got time.
but I don't think our void is as glaring as they keep making this out to be.
Well,
Again,
I think a lot of people
like
think about the future, but you
right,
only have but so many picks left. You can't you can't throw it against you can't just put it out there for anything. Knicks have to get the right guy, and they're not gonna
Yeah,
rush. Not gonna rush until they
right.
get the right guy.
The thing is, and yes, Sherwin, I played basketball. I know it's hard to believe it's how big I am, but I don't know where your questions are, what the follow up question is. But what I'm saying is, and I've coached basketball. So, the thing is for me, there's how many teams in the league are 100% locked
Ready.
in and solid at the center spot or at every position. I mean, every team has a hole at a position. Like technically, the Boston Celtics, their number one guy they're counting on is injury prone, like Mitch. Okay, their second guy has
He's old.
extended his career. He's old as hell, and then they have some kind of young guy, Cornette, brewing in the background. Okay, there aren't many teams. Even the best team in the league, technically last year, had question marks, at center. Like we're only bringing this up because we think Mitch is injury prone.
Hmm.
So, like, if Mitch's injury wasn't an asterisk next to his name, we wouldn't be talking because there's enough offense on this team. It's not like we need him to score. So, and Sherwin, you have to open your ears. When I was talking about Jokic, I was talking about LeBron covering him on defense. I wasn't talking about Jokic's defense. I was talking about LeBron's defense being able to cover Jokic. So appreciate your feedback. Open your ears. So anyway, that's what I was referring to because our issues with Randall at the center spot, there are zero issues on offense. The only issue occasionally will be defensively, you know, which I don't think because there isn't a traditional rim protector in the game. If you have that lineup, but our defense is going to be solid in other areas that the rim protection isn't as pressing of a need. But if Mitch stays healthy, look, I said it here. If Randall and Mitch stay healthy all year, we're winning the national championship. We're winning the NBA championship. That's just there's no doubt on it because Mitchell Robinson is good enough with this starting lineup and this roster. As long as he's there and he's healthy, he's good enough to be a starting center on a championship level team.
Hmm.
When the rest of the team is who we have, I mean that's just fight me on it. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, because there's been a lot worse starting centers in the league that's won the ship than Mitch. I mean, let's name some of the starting centers on the last 10 champions. I guess we can go back and look at that.
Yeah, they'll find, and the Knicks kind of like playing for it, and they kept things flexible this summer
Yeah.
because they could have locked in some guys just to get, but they made sure they have some maneuverability to do something
I mean,
mid-season.
right.
Hmm.
Now, granted, on a couple of the teams, you had LeBron, look at his starting centers. But hell, they had LeBron.
Hmm.
And you look at some of the starting centers the Warriors had. Well, they had Steph and Clay. Well, we're going to be able to say, well, they had Randall and Brunson. Well,
Hmm.
they had the two best wing defenders in the league. Well, they had the best two They have the guys that finish first and fourth, the sixth man of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I mean, you just keep going down the line. We have an opportunity with this roster.
Yep.
Like the most untalked about part that I've noticed, people keep talking about the starting lineup. Do people forget we have two guys that were giving people the business all over the NBA that are on our bench? Like Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart were a problem for teams.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming off our bench now. And the thing is, they're not going to be that butthurt about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to thrive in those roles. I'm telling you. They're both still going to get 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know, man. My gluttonous, selfish side of me wants another center too, just to feel safe, to have that insurance, feel warm and fuzzy inside. I would have. That's why it's not that I think Walker Kessler is the answer as far as like, oh, he makes us better. I like the fact that he's young and good enough to play now and make a difference now, enough to where he can develop with our core.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, even Mitch is still young enough. If Mitch never gets hurt again, he can still have a what's considered a great career, a legendary career with the Knicks. If he never gets hurt again, I just think we're looking for this unbelievable center replacement that's just not needed.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody sees.
We don't need to get Cat. Like, I don't know why people think trading Randall for Cat is a thing. That doesn't move the needle. Like, getting Cat eliminates the reason for having Randall. Like, getting Cat, you put Dante in the starting lineup, move OG to the 4, then that's one less guy on the bench now that we can count on. And then all of a sudden, God forbid, OG gets banged up. Now Precious is in the starting lineup. I mean, it's there you go. Now all of a sudden, it's a crappy move. And I don't think Cat's better than Randall. I just don't.
David Smith says, "How about Nurkic? He could be a good Hartenstein replacement. It's gonna be tricky."
Oh boy, we talking about replacing Hartenstein and Coach, do we have a meme for the constant replace Hartenstein conversation?
I don't know. It's David Smith.
No, no disrespect to David Smith. I like David Smith. I'm just talking about
I don't not like him. It's just always brings it up.
Let me see if I can find something for the hold.
God damn it.
Yeah, hey Coach, I think I found one every time.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, every time.
I mean, I just want.
I think that's my new favorite. I think that's my new favorite, man.
I don't think it's that important to replace. It's not that I don't think iHeart's. It's going to hurt that he left. I don't think it's as important to replace what he did for us as just everyone being healthy and Mitch insurance. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's my new favorite meme right there, bro. I think I like that better than this one. I think I like them.
Oh my God.
Every time somebody Yeah, man.
You need to get But we need to get that. We also need to get a graphic when Shannon Sharp's doing this with.
I need to. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm looking for the
Yeah,
Whitney Houston one. I'm looking for the Whitney Houston one. So every time somebody talk about their secret crush, you know what I'm talking about? The one where she make the high pitch thing. She
yeah.
be, yeah. I'm looking for that one, man. I can't find
Or
it.
or someone's got a whack take and do like get that a little snippet of when Carl Lewis tried to sing the national anthem.
I think I
He
got
goes, oh, here we go. Oh,
that, or we could just go with this one.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think somebody's gonna get their spot taken, and I'm gonna speak to. I want to speak to it. I want to speak to that in September. I don't want to talk about it in the dog days of
What?
August. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it in the dog days of August because during the summertime, man, topics get lost in the shuffle.
Sherwin, what are you talking about, Sherwin? I wasn't talking about Jokic on defense. I was talking about how LeBron was on defense as a center because Nikola Jokic is the top center in the league, technically. And the comparison of if we had to put Randall at the 5 to defend center, top center in the league, that's what my comparison was about. It had nothing to do with Jokic playing any defense. So I don't know why you keep making that statement. So maybe I spelled it out a little better for you what I meant. I'm talking about in the Olympics.
We could
LeBron James
a little
played
bit 'cause
defense.
we keep talking about yeah. We could talk about something like what the Knicks defense is really gonna look like. Like Fritz, what do you think the Knicks defense is really gonna look like? Because right now we're speculating. Like when I ask people, they were like, "Well, we have here's the canned generic answer. Well, we have two of the best defensive wings, and we added Mikal Bridges." I'm like, bro, if that's all you had to say, then you don't even need the microphone because millions of people are saying the same thing. Like
yeah,
go ahead, bro.
yeah, I think
Well, maybe there's not much more to say.
Yeah, it's a lot to say, Coach. It's a lot more to say. It's like saying
I don't know.
Jim
I think we would
Johnson's
do a lot of
defense is the
trapping.
same as, huh?
We might do a lot of trapping. I think there's certain players going to benefit. Like I think Dante is going to benefit because he's really good at like passing lanes.
Mhm.
Hart is really good at passing lanes. I think they're going to benefit a lot. Hart and Dante, because they like to cheat and they like to go and get the passing lanes, and I think there's a lot of transition buckets that way. But my most of my concern is about offense, not defense. Like defense, I think we're gonna be straight.
Yeah, I'm not talking about concern because I think that the Knicks are our top two team in the East.
Mhm.
All right, so yeah, so I'm not like concerned. I'm talking about the way the defense looks. But yeah, I honestly think that we're going to do the opposite. I think we're going to get in base defense, and teams are not going to be able to beat us in a base defense.
Mhm.
Right? Like when you
I don't even think we need a trap.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think we're just going to get in a base defense, and our base defense is going to put so much pressure on every part of your offense that we won't have to get exotic.
Mhm.
Right? I think our goal is to. I think what our goal is going to be is force the ball away from the paint, and if we get beat, rally to the paint.
Yeah.
Right? Under no circumstances, and I know what people are going to say off rip. People are going to say, "Why would you force the ball away from the rim? Shouldn't you force it to Mitch?" No, that's not how sports works. It's like
Not anymore.
you never force a one-on-one guy with your goalie. That's ridiculous. That's like saying I'm just gonna throw fastballs all game. No, you're not gonna throw
Yeah.
fastballs all game, bro.
Because if a guy is skilled enough and good enough to blow by OG or Kale Bridges, what the hell you think Mitch gonna do?
The eraser. You have an eraser because you have an eraser because you may make a mistake. You don't have an eraser because it's nice to have.
Right.
All right. So if guys do beat OG and Anobi to the rim, then you have an eraser back there. But you're not gonna force funnel guys to your eraser. That's ridiculous. But what we will do is force them away from the ball on the periphery, right? Now, what that means is that the second guys, the secondary defenders on the floor, Randall and Brunson, will have to be able to scramble because if you have Bridges and OG forcing the ball to the baseline, then you'll have to have other guys that are to the field for long cross court passes that may get picked off, right? In the case that they throw them. Now, you don't live and die. Like for instance, in football, you don't go into the game saying we're just going to get 3 pick sixes and kick some field goals and we'll win. No, the offense has, you know what I'm saying? But defensively, what you'll do is be less reliant on Brunson, less stupid taking charges at the rim because he's the tag defender, and less weird Randall closeouts on the wing. Like people are going on Twitter, like Randall didn't close out on these 2 plays right here, man. I get tired of looking at Randall. Randall's a rebounder, bro. Randall's a rebounder. You know what I'm saying? You don't get you don't ask your rebounder to rebound and close out on the perimeter. It's ridiculous. All right. So in my mind, force the ball away from the paint, right? Keep that in turn does keep Mitchell Robinson healthier outside of the freak injuries and things of that sort. But what that will do when you force the ball away, force long contested jump shots, what you may see is an uptick in Mitchell Robinson's rebounding. Mitchell Robinson, if healthy, may be a double-digit rebounder for the first time in his career. Julius Randle may average 10 or 11 rebounds, right? Because you'll have less shots at the rim, forcing the ball away. And then you'll also have less ISOs on Brunson, less screening to isolate Jalen Brunson on the other team's best offensive player because you now have OG, McCall, and Randall on the floor that'll be switchable in that sense. So that's what I think about it, Fritz. And then what I think too is there'll be times where you'll see Randall off the floor and you'll see Bridges, OG, and Josh Hart at the same time, or Precious, OG, Randall. You'll see some type of combination in different lineups where the defense will legit be smothering a team for 6 or 7 continuous NBA minutes, right? Not real-time minutes, because real-time minutes that'll probably be about 20 minutes. But in NBA minutes, you'll see that for like a 4 to 6 minute stretch where you'll see Dante, Deuce, Bridges, OG, Hart, and those guys in some form of unit. Of course, you'll need to have a ball handler and a big in that lineup, but I think you'll see that. And what that'll do is force teams away from the rim or to shoot threes. And on those misses, you'll see that team get out and run. So I think that our base defense, just simply put, be deep as the deepest man. Don't let anybody get deeper than you. And Fritz, you think the casual NBA fan understands what we mean by deep or the deepest?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that they don't know, right? So based for those that don't know what deep as the deepest means is if you are covering a man, say if you're covering a man and you have your eyes on the ball, right? You are gonna get on the level of the defender, right? You don't want to have the defender be able to cut back door behind you, right? So you get deep as he is, right? Now, and what that does is it creates spacing on the floor, right, for driving lanes. But what it does do is it cuts off back doors and lobs, right? And for those that don't remember, Kevin Knox couldn't play defense because he refused to get as deep as the deepest. So all it took was for them to pass the ball to catch his vision, and his man would cut back door, and they would throw a lob to Kevin Knox's man. Right? They were legit. They knew that he was weak in that get deep as the deepest thing. Right? And so all it took was for them to give him some eye candy, and then his man would cut back door, and they would bounce pass it in there for a layup, or they would just throw the lob over the top of Kevin Knox. It's the same thing with Obi Toppin. All they would do is he wouldn't get as deep as the deepest, like cut off the driving lane, show him some eye candy in front. Maybe they ran a cutter in front to catch his attention. Meanwhile, a guy behind him was cutting to the basket, and they would throw the lob or the alley-oop. And so what the Knicks are going to do this year is be as deep as the deepest, right? All right, just be as deep as the deepest to cut off anything traveling baseline, right? And then be pressure on the ball. Whoever's handling the ball from the other team is going to get intense pressure handling the ball. So you have to be a perfect ball handler and a perfect passer at that time in order to execute in your half-court sets. And most people can't do that. They can't do both at the same time. Be a great dribbler with their head up and a great passer at the same time, especially when the ball gets into your shooting guards, your small forwards, your power forwards, and your centers. So that's what I'm thinking, Fritz.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, and for the basketball heads out there, the cats like Sherwin is going to be like, yo, Uncle Freezy, well, what about the 45s? Well, for those that don't know, the 45s are the players that are on the wing. And when you get as deep as the deepest, the guys on the wing take a cut to the rim at a 45-degree angle. Right. The thing about it is if you're as deep as the deepest, you can't be as deep as the deepest and cut off those dudes too. You just have to have faith that the other guys that are playing defense are playing defense too. You don't want to leave your man to make up for somebody else's mistake and then leave your man and that man be open at the same time. Right. You just don't want to do that. Right. And the other thing too is when you're as deep as the deepest, your closeouts on the weak side, if you're the weak side tag man, right? So say a team runs the pick and roll on coach's side of the floor, right? Well, on Uncle Freezy's side of the floor, there'll be two players spotted up on that side with one defender, right? Because what's going to happen is in that pick and roll, as soon as the screen is set and the ball handler rubs off the defender off that screen, he creates the 2-on-1 advantage where the pick man has to now pick up the ball handler and the original defender is in trail. So now you have two defenders on one person. And so if you have a big coach, I'm gonna throw you a hint right here. If you have a big that can do the 45-degree cut or roll with accurate spacing and can catch the ball and can hit a floater, or if the tag man comes up to that guy, a big that can pass the ball to the corner for the three, I think that man is going to take somebody's rotation spot.
And ladies and gentlemen, I went to the bathroom while I was there. I was going to roast Uncle Freezy for putting a rock in everyone's shoe, bringing up that subject and trying to say he's going to wait until September. But
I am waiting until September.
But he snuck his answer just then.
No, I didn't.
And the answer is Ariel Huckporty.
That's not my answer. Coach, you can't hold water, bro. We ain't telling you nothing.
You just described Huckporty.
Is that your answer based on what you heard?
That's who I think your answer is from what I've heard from what
my answer ain't that.
That sounded like him.
Nah.
He's new. And The guy he might replace is in a has a hive.
Who?
Mitch.
Oh no, Huck Porty ain't no starter. Oh, Huck Porty ain't no starter. Get out of here.
I'm
Nah,
just trolling,
man.
man.
Nah, man. Huck Porty ain't no starter. No.
I know you like Haportia.
Nah, he all right. Yeah, but defensively though, now I'm just pointing out these things defensively. What happens is when you add a McAlbridge, it's like your secondary having two great corners at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like you having two great corners at the same time, taking away your outside receivers, and now you're letting nine defenders basically cover three skill players. In theory, that's what it's like. So Fritz, that's my answer for what the defense will look like. Will we even? I don't even think Tom Thibodeau is going to come out and show offenses different looks. I think he's legit going to get in that 2000 Baltimore Ravens base defense and dare teams to beat his base defense. Mm-hmm. You are going to have to shoot out of your mind from the floor in order to beat that Baltimore Ravens base defense. And I think this defense right here, while it is basketball, I think this defense is going to be so elite at the basic stuff. The only thing preventing the Knicks from winning a championship this year is consistent offensive scoring. And when I say offensive scoring, I know people are going, hey, yeah, but don't you just score all the time off it? No, you can have transition offense. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in your half court offense. I think that may be where we struggle a little bit. Because I think if Dante is moved to the bench, you don't get a traditional guy on the floor that's going to stretch the floor by shooting 3-pointers. And all the offenses that you want to run nowadays, Zoom, Jet, Stack, Spain, all these offenses that you want to run and stack on top of each other require you to have at least 1 to 2 surefire 3-point threats on the floor. I think that may be where we struggle. Not that Mikal Bridges is a bad player. Stretching the floor, he has not shown that he's as good a 3-point shooter as Dante DiVincenzo. Did I just muck up the conversation? Y'all want me to? I'll get off the screen. Y'all go ahead.
No,
that's what that's pretty much what I was saying. But
I'm letting that sink in what you were saying. I don't really have any rebuttal to it.
No, we don't have to rebut each other. We just conversating, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
I know the chat may have something. Hey, chat, what do y'all have? Like, for instance, when I ask,
oh, you mean it?
Yeah, I saw that, man. I keep hitting. I forgot this microphone has a loose cord on it, but when you ask Knicks fans what type of offense we're going to run, most times they're going to say, "Well, we're going to pick and roll and we're going to ISO." Well, the thing about the pick and roll is the pick and roll is incorporated in just about every offensive set that you're going to run, right? Just about every offensive set that you're going to run. There's going to have anytime the screener comes from anywhere, we're going to call it pick and roll because the ball handler is going to take that screen and use it to his advantage to create create the 2-on-1, draw two defenders versus one offensive player, so that you'll have a advantage mismatch somewhere else. That's the reason why you run it. That's the reason why most teams have been running it since about 2000. Most teams have been running that same offense for about 25 years because there's nothing else proven where you can create a mismatch and floor spacing at the same time until somebody innovates something new. There's nothing new. Even Golden State, the Knicks, Dallas, we all run the same offense. But what happens is is we stack the formations differently. Like some people, for Sherwin and others that understand football better, is teams like to run out of I formation, right? But their I formation doesn't look the same all the time. Sometimes the tight end is off the line and the flanker is on the line. Sometimes the tight end is in line, and then now instead of the flanker on that side, you have the split end off the line. Sometimes you bring the split end in motion to the other side and have two receivers on the other side, but you're in the tight end on the line, but you're still in I formation, right? So you can for instance, teams like Boston and other teams like to run Spain, where you have two screeners. One screens the original, and then the guy that's screened is screened by the second offensive player. So you have a screener screening the screen, right? Just so that you can create a odd advantage around that and a weak side 3-point shooter in the opposite corner. When you run Spain, basically what you want to do is evacuate the 3-point shooter out of this corner and have him travel to the other side of the floor. So when you turn that corner, you'll have that whole coach. You remember how coaches back in the day used to run fullback dive to the weak side because the next play they want to run is a toss to the strong side of the field. Remember when cats used to do that back in the day? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what that Spain is like. But am I boring you out of death? I knew it, bro. I knew it.
No, man.
I knew it.
I'm just reading
Chat, is it snooze fest all of a sudden? I hate talking. I don't want to talk offense and defense.
Chat's writing paragraphs tonight. I'm just reading some of them while you're talking, trying to multitask. Sorry, I'm not Johnny on the spot with my response. Give me a
Nah,
chance
man. And I'm just doing this for defense, bro. My overreaction. That's my overreaction from Tom Thibodeau defense, bro. I think Tibbs legit is gonna run a base defense and it's gonna be so impressive.
We have enough talent where less is more. Let them be them.
Yeah. I think Tom Thibodeau is going to be able to do more stuff, not because he has more talent, but the talent that he has can execute the basic stuff at such a high level that he can simplify the things that he was trying to do and just let guys go out there and play and just do what comes natural.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have personnel flexibility too, where now, because we need, like I said, because we have Josh Dante coming in, the wings on other teams have problems. Now we got 4 guys in our rotation that can all take turns just pestering your wings. Like with Dante, Hart, Bridges, OG. So I'm looking forward to it. That's for sure.
Bro, I think our offense is going to be so efficient based off of basic principles. You and me, as a matter of fact, I have notes up here. I should probably.
I'm still trying to put vibes through the interwebs to you, not to make you tell us who you're thinking of, not making us wait till September.
Or we can just wait.
That's a cop out.
No, that's just impatience. Or you could just wait. Or I could just say October and make it even more weird. I ain't doing it till October now. Make it even more strange.
That defeats the purpose of making the statement now. Because if you wait till then, obviously you can wait. How about you got to write it on a piece of paper now, stamp it, seal it,
No,
Yeah.
I already know who it is because by the time the middle of October gets here, it'll be apparent. Like by the time the middle, because I'm gonna say it in September, but by the time October get here, it'll be like, man, we could have saw that coming from a mile away. But you won't be able to see it in August because it's August. You know what I'm saying? There's no training camp. There's no preseason. There's nothing for us to go by. And I know we won't see the training camp stuff. All we'll be able to go by is what I was gonna say Ian Rappaport. What's the Ian Begley? Oh, Ian Begley will leak stuff to us, or somebody will
Yeah.
leak stuff to us.
Do you think
But
the NBA is missing the boat on that, like the way the NFL does and how they open up their training camp?
I think
Why don't they have?
Oh, you mean
Why
on
don't they have
television?
video? Yeah, like fan video or even streams
Well,
of
NBA TV
training
does like
camp.
NBA TV has like a
snippet.
something they have like
Yeah.
it's like a half an hour per team
Yeah,
for like the last month of this month before the season.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
but
NBA. I think the NBA.
NFL let you go to practice.
Man, shoot, baseball, MLB. You get
Yeah.
there. You see coverage from pitchers and
Batting
catchers, bro.
practice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So, if you want, coach, do you have a transformational player that you think is going to be something different than what you thought you were getting? Like one player that was one way for like the last 2 or 3 years, and then this season he'll be something different
On the Knicks?
on the Knicks. Yep.
I think Josh Hart is going to surprise us with how much better he's going to be shooting this year. I think he's going to turn into a better shooter.
Yeah, I think Josh found his niche like this summer. Like, I think he was always like a good general player. I think he found his niche, like what he does.
Okay.
And I think he's here to push the ball, get in transition, and hustle. I think before when he was just trying to be like a general, like a, all-purpose guard. I think he probably just gonna focus just on that. Just on that.
Coach, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna make some people mad, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dante is gonna morph into a point guard.
He was doing that in Golden State.
I wouldn't mind that.
He started in Golden State.
I mean, he's got every tool to do it.
Yeah, he was just never asked. Dante legit, in my mind, Dante, Josh Hart, and Julius Randle legit are the rare player that if you ask them to do something different, they can excel at it, right? Without complaining and all that stuff. I think Dante is going to be that second unit playmaker. And I think you'll see any number of combinations on that second unit, right? You may see Dante, Hart, Precious, and whoever the fourth. Right now, they're not going to play together all the time. I understand you don't do shift change in substitutions. I understand that, right? What I'm saying is I do think when that unit does play together, I think you'll see. Say, for instance, they leave Randall on the floor with that unit that comes in, right? Whereas Randall is playing with, and the reason why you leave Randall on the floor with DiVincenzo, Hart, and whoever the fourth player is going to be along with Randall is not because that lineup itself gives you an advantage, though it does give an advantage. But when the lineup returns to the floor without Randall, because Randall played with those guys, when Brunson Bridges, Mitch, OG, and whatever other player returns, say it's Dante returns, you can sit Randall and you can be flexible with those type lineups, and you can ask Dante to be the point playmaker type with Jalen Brunson so that Jalen Brunson can play off the ball and do what he does best. Like what Jalen Brunson does best, and he doesn't get credit for it, is Jalen Brunson shoots the three at close to 50% on spot up threes. But since we don't have playmakers that get him the ball, you rarely see it. You rarely get to see Dante just spot up. Brunson just spot up and receive a good pass and take a three-pointer. You rarely see that because Quentin Grimes couldn't do it. Remember when he and Grimes played together? When Brunson gave Grimes the ball, Grimes gave it right back.
Yep.
So you never got the opportunity to see Brunson take a spot up three. And then Randall was hurt for most of the season.
Yeah, because like Randall, when he played, he provided that for Brunson quite a bit.
Yeah.
He would have the ball long enough in a running the offense mode that he was able to let Brunson spot up.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, Randall needs to be the guy that brings up the ball again like he used to, right?
Yeah.
But he's good enough to facilitate the offense a little bit from the top, like iHeart did sometimes. Stuff like that.
Yeah. 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 The thing about these lineups is at some point, even though Jalen Brunson is a dynamic scoring point guard, at some point, man, you have to give somebody some easy looks during the course of a season, bro. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you have Emmett Smith, you can't have Emmett running on second down and 8 on every, you know what I'm saying? You can't be that, right? You can't just, you got to give them some easy touches too. You know what I'm saying? Make things easy for guys. Like how coach be throwing me alley-oops. Like when coach started talking about Hartenstein, and I'd be like,
God damn it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Slapping the bass.
Shout out to all the bass players across the world. Hey, Fritz, you play bass?
Nah, I bought one though, like years ago. It's sits in my closet.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yeah. I have that and a treadmill. Both collecting dust.
I had that too. But yeah, I can't get on the treadmill.
Yeah, both collecting dust. And I like moving around too, but in case y'all can't tell, but yeah, I like moving. I'm probably gonna go walking probably in about 5 or 6 hours, probably about 6:30, something like that, whatever.
Ugh.
Yeah, man.
Kind of miss it. Yeah, my legs like been messed up, and yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, Coach, what else you got? That's all we got, bro?
I mean, it's not that. Oh, it's all we got.
You want to watch the RJ Barrett highlight?
Oh,
RJ Barrett at the rim.
we'll never see that again.
Yeah. Well, you know what, everybody, thank y'all for coming through and rocking with us, man. We're gonna wrap up, get out of here. Not for sure how today is gonna go. Still got some training and all that stuff. Plus, it's Saturday. Probably just gonna meander around and do some family stuff and all of that, man. Coach, thank you for coming through. Fritz, thank you for hanging out with us, man.
Sure.
We gotta talk on court basketball more, man. I don't want to nerd anybody out with like on court basketball stuff, but that's the kind of stuff that I like to talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? Like some people like to talk about personnel, some people like to talk about the cap, some people like to talk about trades, some people like to talk about like behind the scenes. John, I just like talking about the stuff on the court, bro.
It's about that time. Like the off the court stuff is stopping, so about time to.
Bro. Is it 6 weeks? It's about 6 weeks, right? October is in
Yeah.
about 7 weeks.
October, yeah, games are in October, yeah.
So it's about 7 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. But whatever, we're gonna be here for it regardless. Thank you everybody for coming through and rocking. Peace, everybody.